So I don't know if like I'm the only one who's skeptical about this stuff, but Minato, you know, they recently dropped a Minato manga, and I read the whole thing, but some things don't make any sense to me. That is, but like in the manga, bro just learned the Rasengan. Like he just learned that shit. He's fresh off life. He's like 14 years old. I guess a little bit older than Naruto was in part 1. Bro just made the Rasengan. And then I see this man clashing with a full power QB bomb. Now, it may not have been full power because he was just loading it up. He was just charging that bitch up. But it was big enough to, it's like, yo, we all know a base Rasengan. But I'm going to watch the video to see if it can make more sense. Like, this shit don't make sense. You know, sometimes Kishimoto be pulling stuff out his ass, and we don't say shit. But it's like, you know, like it's bro. Like we rock with bro. But I ain't gonna lie, he should have got blown away. I'm not gonna cap, because when Naruto just learned the Rasengan, albeit he's not as, you know, talented as Minato was when he was a kid, that's still a base Rasengan, bro. That's still a base Rasengan. Like, let's be for real.
Minato is the ultimate shinobi.
And we only got paused like 2-3 times throughout the video. So if you guys could gladly count, and if I go beyond 3 pauses, call me out for it, because I like to fix my mistakes.
Recently, Minato got his own special one-shot manga, and I have yet to talk about it, and it's long overdue. The manga follows Minato.
Whoa, what the hell? What is this? What is... Man, get these captions out of here, nigga. The fuck?
When he's a 14 or 15-year-old kid, and we get to learn some extra stuff about the Rasengan.
14, 15, so like, you know, like he was at the age where Naruto, he went off to train with Jiraiya. You know, that age is a little like a year after, kind of like in the middle, right before Shippuden.
It was created, and where exactly he got the idea from. We also get some pretty nice statements in regard to Minato's power and what he's capable of. Let's not waste any more time though. Before we get started, I'd like to ask you if you could leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, as I greatly appreciate it. The manga starts.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, I need to learn how to do this little like subtitles, because I know he don't type the subtitles. It's like an AI that does it for you, and I could put it on the bottom of my videos. That would be so clean. If anybody knows how to do this, hit me up.
Starts off pretty insane. You have Team Jiraiya sitting in front of 2 Jinchuriki.
Jiraiya, they said my name. What the fuck? Hey, these subtitles are ass.
It starts off pretty insane. You have Team
Darius. Oh my god.
Jiraiya sitting in front of 2 Jinchuriki charging up tailed beast bombs. I'll establish a timeline for this in a bit, as there is one key detail in indicating when this manga takes place. The details of this confrontation are completely unknown to us. We don't know if Minato was fighting these guys along with his team or what.
And if the camera's freezing in and out, that's my fault. I'm trying to fix it, bro. I'm trying to fix it. So if the video freezes like momentarily, I apologize.
Whatever. But it's pretty clear that they've at least been in battle with someone. Minato is breathing heavy in the very first panel of the manga, and he has cracks in his headband and scratches all over his face along with the rest of his team. So I think it's pretty safe to say that they're pretty tired at this point in time. Han and Roshi don't seem to have any scratch marks on them, so it does kind of make it seem like this is more of an ambush. In their dialogue of saying that if Minato and the others really want to fight them, they should have brought...
Like, bro, right here! Like, bro, he was struggling with the 4 tails and the 5 tails. Bro, so it's like, okay, this is before he learned the Rasengan, by the way. He was already a Jonin, by the way. I think Minato was a Jonin like at a very young age, like Itachi. Like I think Kakashi was. Yeah, Kakashi, not Itachi, it was Kakashi. So it's like, he's struggling with the 4 tails and the 5 tails. It's like, yo, you learn the Rasengan and now you clashing with Jubi bombs now. Like that's what we doing? Like I'm pretty sure I understand most of it to understand, like, yo, that's not, I don't lie, that's not how it's supposed to work out, but Kishimoto, he's the author. He could do whatever he wants, and it's gonna make sense because it's Kishimoto.
Brought the 9-tailed Jinchuriki. This could imply a number of things. Maybe that they were on a mission to get these tailed beasts and they were ambushed by them after fighting a different battle. Maybe they were already fighting Han and Roshi and got beat up. Who really knows? Although I doubt Roshi could beat Jiraiya up since he got beat up by Kisame, or maybe this version of Jiraiya is just weaker than Kisame, not even Kisame level. Han is actually pretty strong, especially when he's using boil release, but for the sake of not assuming too much, just going with the fact that they were all fatigued when this started, and I'll just leave it there. I think it's also worth noting Minato still has to use hand signs to teleport with his flying Raijin at this point in time. It just shows that he's not as proficient with the jutsu as we see him when he was
strong.
in the main series.
He's strong, but
this is a possible retcon with this next part though. We're told in the main series that it took Minato 3 years to develop the Rasengan and another 6 months to perfect it. But in this manga...
So, you're trying to tell me the Rasengan wasn't even mastered when he was just clashing with the Biju bomb casually. He was just casually clashing with it. It wasn't even mastered. It wasn't even mastered Rasengan. The most Naruto can do when he first mastered Rasengan was probably put Kabuto out of commission. That was the most he could do at that point. So you're telling me. And I know the gap between them isn't that crazy. Like, it's ain't that crazy. Like, it's still the Rasengan. Like, come on, bro. Come on. You can't go from like putting a Jonin level ninja out of commission to like clashing with a full power QB. Like I said, Kishimoto can do whatever he wants, but I need some type of consistency here.
They make it seem like he did it within like 2 days or so. Kushina is excited to train with Minato again for the...
But they saying that Kishimoto forgot about this part. Like, he forgot about this. So he made Minato master that shit in like a few days. Because you're not telling me, you're not about to sit here and tell me an imperfect Rasengan is gonna clash with Kurama.
Day, but Minato says he has to go work on a jutsu that's unfinished with Jiraiya and Training Ground 3.
You can't tell me that.
And then later on this day, he masters the Rasengan. This is after seeing a Tail Beast power for the first time with the Tail Beast bomb in the first few pages, which is where he got the idea for the jutsu in the first place. Minato's team also tells him they need to go report their mission to Lord Third. I guess it's possible he's talking about another mission they went on, one off screen and not the one from the first page. But it does seem like he's referencing that since that's the mission we saw them go on at the beginning of the manga. So unless the first scene in the manga takes place 3 years before the rest of the manga, this is a retcon. And I do also just want to say, Kishimoto draws the difference between 12 and 15-year-olds very distinctively. The characters from part 1 to Shippuden perfectly illustrate this idea. Let me explain why that's important, but to do that, I'll have to show you how I got to the conclusion of Minato's age. In the same scene where Minato is talking to Kushina, we see Kakashi, Guy, and Obito talking to each other in the background. None of them have their ninja headbands on, so it can be concluded that they aren't out of the academy yet. Although we do know that they are in the academy because Guy and Kakashi know each other and they met at the sign-ups for the academy. So it's probably after they enrolled, so they're around 4 to 5 years old. And considering Minato is 10 years older than Kakashi, that makes him 14 or 15 at the time of this manga. Or at least at the time of this panel.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So if the other mission was 3 years ago, then Minato should be 12 at the beginning of this manga. These two panels are...
This nigga is 12? This guy is 12. He's 12? He's not 12. Bro.
Direct on face shots of Minato at the 2 points in time I'm talking about. The one on the left.
Bro, this is a grown man, bro. I'm sorry, this is a grown ass man. Man, he may not be a grown man, but he's a teenager. For sure. Like a 14, 15, maybe 16. You know, maybe the ninjas just like, they matured faster than everybody else. I'm gonna just say that. Shinobi just matured way faster. And the only way it's gonna make sense to me.
Left would be allegedly 3 years from before the one on the right. He looks the same age to me. I'll show a few examples of Kishimoto drawing a character going from 12 to 15 years old to illustrate this a little bit more. Here is Kakashi at 12 and then 14. Here is Naruto at 12 and then 15. Here is Sakura at 12 and then 15, and here is Sasuke at 12 and then 15. All of them look much different between these two ages, so I'm not buying that this first scene was from 3 years ago. So I'm calling a retcon, but that's whatever. We need to learn the Rasengan in a few days.
I mean, it gotta be a retcon, bro. It makes sense. Man, if I was to make a manga, bro, you really gotta go. You wanna make a new manga, like the Minato shit that Kishimoto's making? you have to go back and watch like damn near the whole series to prevent any like plot holes, retcons, stuff like that. You gotta go and prevent all that. You gotta make it as much sense as possible. You gotta go back and watch the whole series over again, bro. I mean, besides the age thing, like I could understand that, and I could say like, okay, Shinobi just or Minato just they mature faster than regular people, even though like this is how Sasuke, Naruto, and Sakura they look like kids at 12 years old, and Minato he looks like how Naruto looks at Shippuden. Let's be honest, or maybe at the end of Shippuden. But
guess that just makes him more of a prodigy, I suppose. Then we get a callback to part 1 when Jiraiya and Minato are training, and Jiraiya talks about needing your chakra in the direction of the whirl on your hair, just like he does with Naruto when Naruto is learning the Rasengan. We learn that Minato has 2 whirls, and this is a sign of a genius and gives Minato an incredible grasp of ninjutsu, which I guess makes sense with the fact that he forms the Rasengan after learning this information, and he just has to need the chakra in both directions at the same time. This is effectively the human version of a tailed beast bomb, and he's already got the flying Raijin at this point. I just wanted to take note of the fact that Kushina is watching.
Bro, at this point, turn these damn subtitles off, bro. Never mind, bro. Whoever y'all, hey, if you watching this, don't send me this shit, bro. This shit is getting all the words wrong. This shit is getting all the words wrong, bro. Look what the fuck they just called Kushina
at this point. I just wanted to take note of the fact that
what is that?
Kushina is watching Minato at this point in his training doing the Rasengan and whatnot, but that'll become important later. Minato decides to name the jutsu the Ice
Turn this, Turbo, turn it off, bro. No subtitles. This shit ain't got not one word right. This shit ain't got not one name right, bro. It ain't spelled Minato right one time. Or Jiraiya. Yo, it don't work.
Pop-inspired Nimbus Jiraiya Twin World Sphere, which is an absolutely awful name. It's the worst jutsu name I've ever heard, but...
Bro, and I like the fact that they remembered that Minato was horrible at naming jutsus. I think, remember they named, Minato named Naruto and Sasuke's collaborative jutsu. Hey, I forgot what he named it, but it was some stupid shit, and I'm not finna go back and see what he named it, but it was some stupid shit. It was like Flaming Whirlwind Zero. Y'all know what I mean. It was in the war arc, bro. Ice Pop inspired Nimbus Jiraiya Twin World Spear.
To be fair, its competition was another jutsu name for Minato, the Scorch Style.
They just said Jujutsu.
Its competition was another jutsu name for Minato, the Scorch Style Nimbus Gale Jet.
Yeah, it is. It's this. I'm glad he put it. The Scorch Style Nimbus Gale Jet Black Arrow Formation 0. That was horrible. That's a funny little Easter egg right there.
Jet Black Arrow Formation 0. So yeah, definitely Minato's weakest attribute. We then get from Minato's perspective the reason he created the Rasengan in the first place, and that's to protect Kushina. He says, we're in the middle of a war and we don't know when we might be sent to the battlefield. That's why I wanted to give you a new jutsu that is specialized for battles against Biju and Jinchuriki and works in concert with your own Jinchuriki chakra volume. He says he doesn't want to lose her, and in an emotionally vulnerable moment, Kurama starts trying to take over Kushina's body, similarly to how he did Naruto. Minato calls it out as tailed beast mode or beatrification, and then gets hit by Kurama's tail off guard and sent flying. I just want to take note of the fact that Kurama's chakra, before getting tamed and rid of its hatred, is still acting like a poison. This is shown whenever he hits Sakura during the fight between Orochimaru and the Four Tails. Just to take into account moving forward that Minato is essentially poisoned going on. Kurama tries to strike Kushina with his tail, but it's suddenly stopped by a ceiling barrier, and Kurama doesn't know who it is, but it's obviously Minato. Now is where the controversy comes in. I'm going to give more than...
So you're saying this man was poisoned? He was poisoned, weakened, and he still fucked the Nine Tails up? Yo, Minato just owns Kurama. He owns that nigga, bruh. You know how Gohan just owns Cell? He just owns him, like, in Super and Z, he owns Cell. Keeps beating his ass every single time.
Than one translation for this because it's one of the main points of controversy, but at least in the Viz original release for the one shot, Kurama says the brat, he's not of the Uzumaki clan, and yet he's augmenting the tetragram seal in his own style, a most powerful shinobi ranking alongside first Hokage Hashirama. Unbelievable. Then he asks Minato why a shinobi of his caliber is fussing over Kushina. Now, obviously, this statement is a big deal. I mean, it says Minato ranks along Hashirama in terms of power, but there is obviously some context that needs to be taken into account here. Among the community, there are 4 different translations of this statement, and I'm going to talk about all of them, so calm down before you comment on how I left one out. These translations come from Viz, which is the official, OP Scans, which is a pirating website, ChatGPT, an AI that can translate Japanese, and a guy named 02 who I talked to personally to try and figure some of this stuff out. He goes to college for Japanese and is a translator for the character stats wiki if you want a reason as to why I went to him. Before getting into those different translations though, let's add a bit of
This man got all the he said he went to a fucking Japanese translator. That man did his research, bro. You would never get that type of research out of me. Why? What the hell?
Context.
Y'all just gonna have to deal with what I tell you.
Before Kurama made this statement. This is something that's not necessarily shown, but I think it's for the most part very much so implied. After hitting Minato away, Kurama tells Kushina that he told her not to.
You see, like, what?
After hitting Minato away, Kurama
comatose
tells Kushina that he told her not to trust anyone, and that Minato would eventually come to use her as well. This is after Minato essentially said that he made the Rasengan for Kushina to use whenever she has to fight in the war and to complement her giant chakra due to being a Jinchuriki. Things he did because he doesn't want to lose her. These words could be interpreted in a manipulative, twisted way, like Minato is saying he finds value in Kushina as a weapon for the leaf and he doesn't want to lose that weapon. This is obviously not how Minato meant it, but Kurama, who hates humans and had only been used by them up to this point, likely thinks that's where it will end up. Now, does Kurama have to see Minato using the Rasengan to come to this conclusion? No, I suppose he could just be saying that him making a jutsu for Kushina at all is just him using her as a weapon. I think that knowing Kurama can see outside of his Jinchuriki and that he's been actively trying to break out of Kushina this entire day, and that the seal started weakening as soon as she left the barrier, he was probably alert and paying attention. This I bring up to combat the interpretation that Kurama is talking about only sealing in terms of how Minato is Hashirama's level. Now, I know I'm getting ahead of myself here, but one thing that is consistent throughout all 4 translations I mentioned is that they all use the general term of shinobi being on par with Hashirama or Hashirama's generation. I think
they definitely need to animate this, bro. This would actually go hard. Like a 2-episode thing. You know how they did it? They did it for Boruto. They animated that little Sasuke manga with Sakura. This would be tough, but I know this is gonna be much shorter. It's
the fact that Kurama doesn't specify a category in any of these translations, and then later asks why a shinobi of Minato's caliber is fussing over Kushina, that he's probably just talking about overall ability. He made the Rasengan, which is like a human Biju bomb. Kurama saw him use it, and then he placed a ceiling on Kushina that held Kurama back. It's also possible Kurama is claiming you need to be Hashirama level in order for you to do something like what Minato is doing, since, just being real, Hashirama has 0 sealing feats in terms of sealing something away. I know the first thought is that he sealed away Kurama, but that's not true either. During the fight between Madara and Hashirama, Hashirama's wife Mito Uzumaki came onto the battlefield and sealed Kurama into herself, becoming the first 9-tailed Jinchuriki. Kushina tells Naruto this during his training to tame Kurama. The first thought would be, how does Kushina know that? But this new manga provides us with more evidence that she probably does, because we see that she talks to Mito frequently. He says this brat isn't even Uzumaki, but he's enhancing the tetragram seal in his own style. A couple things. For one, we never see Hashirama ever enhance a tetragram seal, and the war arc implies he knows no sealing jutsu to actually put something away. Before you get your pitchforks ready about how King Hashirama does no sealing, yes, I am aware the deity gates in the 4 Crimson Ray barrier. That's why I am specifically talking about sealing someone or something away inside another person or object, not just sealing in general.
This is what he used to reseal Kurama. I mean, it is like a I guess that's a feat for like Naruto, bro.
I also want to mention that there is no proof whatsoever that Kurama ever saw Hashirama using a sealing jutsu. The most we know Hashirama used on Kurama was this wood release jutsu through his wood human to put Kurama to sleep. However, who are also some non-Uzumakis from Hashirama's time that could hold Kurama in some way? These two guys, Madara and Hashirama, at least that we know of. Now, just being...
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, Kurama was getting bitched. That man got bitched by Hashirama, Madara, Obito, Minato. And low-key, like, low-key, he was getting that work from part 1 Naruto when he was cussing him out. But literally, all those niggas just bitched Kurama. Maybe even Sasuke. Sasuke was bitching bro a little bit. Because, remember when the end he put him in, he trapped his ass? Hashirama, Madara, Obito, Minato, Naruto, and Sasuke just straight like owns Kurama. All them Shinra Tenseis that Sasuke had. Remember he just squeezed his nose and he suppressed all his chakra at the beginning of part 2.
Saying Minato ranks alongside those guys that way sounds a bit more reasonable and consistent with the rest of the series. Remember, powerful doesn't have to pertain to punching or kicking strength. It can also mean that, at least according to Merriam-Webster, having great power, prestige, or influence, with the word power most commonly meaning the ability to make things happen, with Minato being able to hold back the 9 tails with his sealing jutsu, as well as possessing the Rasengan that Kurama should have seen. OP Scan says a shinobi of the caliber of the first Hokage Hashirama. There are others like him still around. 02 says there is still such a shinobi since the time of Hashirama of the first generation. And ChatGPT says a shinobi on par with the first Hokage Hashirama. Such a person still exists.
I mean, I seen a lot, like when this first came out, watching Swakage react to it. I mean, it did seem like Kurama was praising Minato in a way. It's like, yo, he's as strong as Hashirama, and then everybody was gonna fly with the, yo, Minato outskills Hashirama, especially when he's, Hokage Minato. But all he was saying was that the tetragram seal that he placed on Naruto was on par with Minato's sealing jutsu, but Minato doesn't really have any sealing feats. At that point, it's all just like speculation, but we could see why he said that, because Hashirama is just like strong, and so everybody went with it. As far as sealing jutsu goes, I could say that Minato is up there with the Uzumaki. So he should have said, instead of like the first Hokage, he should have said someone like strong, like Mito Uzumaki. She could have said that Hashirama's wife. Hashirama just got more hype. It wouldn't hit the same if they said Mito Uzumaki.
Is taking liberties when it comes to translating. My interpretation would just be saying Minato is around that level through Rasengan and sealing jutsu combo. When I talked to 02 more about the Hashirama of the first generation part, he did tell me that within the context of Naruto, it is possible to interpret that as saying Hokage. There is still such a shinobi since the first Hokage Hashirama. Again, basically the same thing. And then ChatGPT, which here it gives its breakdown on why it translated it the way it did, and I'll leave that on screen for everyone to read. After this, Minato tells Kurama he likes strong people stronger than him. I think including context from Kurama, Minato is talking about mental strength and not physical power or anything. I mean, Kurama is literally saying, why is someone as strong as you or of your level worried about someone like this? And Kurama, being Kushina's Jinchuriki, should know how strong she is. Kushina gets a mental amp and starts wrapping Kurama up in chains, but that only makes him more mad, and he starts ripping the chains, causing Kushina to go into V2. Then he cleaves straight through Minato's chest. But just to mention, not only has Minato been training all day, he's currently enhancing a seal, was struck at the chest off guard earlier, and can't really
Minato also just blatantly has bad durability.
Move to dodge, or he'd have to release his sealing hand. On top of that, Kurama also hits him with his claws, and obviously piercing damage is stronger than blunt force, and V2 specifically is stated to be really condensed chakra, so it's not like this is a basic attack, as well as the fact that, like I mentioned, Minato is essentially getting poisoned here. We then see Minato enter the seal where Kurama is stored, which is pretty consistent for him. He did it with Naruto, and you can see he's just a chakra ghost here with the little flames of chakra coming off his skin. Then we're getting back into controversial territory as Kushina tightens her chains on Kurama and Minato clashes with the tailed beast bomb.
See, this is the part that is like, what the fuck? I mean, like, judging by the size of that Rasengan, is obviously not a base Rasengan, so I was mad. I'm wrong about that. You know, that's much bigger than a base Rasengan. I wouldn't say it's an Odama, but it's somewhere close to that, maybe in the middle, it looks like. So I could see how it can, you know, resist the Biju Bomb a little bit, but to just outright beat it, I don't know if he beat it. But judging from the ending of this manga, it's clear, like, okay, Minato won that clash.
The tailed beast bomb is incomplete.
Okay, it is incomplete. Yeah, because he was just charging it up.
And Kushina's chains are on Kurama. That much is true, and it's enough to say that this isn't completely his full power. However, this bomb is still bigger than the one used on Pain, and bigger than the one that Orochimaru said could end his life if it.
That's like, oh my god, it's so many. It's tough. So people saying it's incomplete, but it's still like a normal Odama Rasengan, it looks like. So I don't know, bro. Like, I can't even see like it clashing with this. And this right here is the smallest we ever seen a tailed beast bomb.
When it starts forming the bomb, Pain interrupts it and shoots it off way over there to behind the Hokage heads. It blows up, and then the explosion gets bigger and eventually gets over to Pain again.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. That tailed beast bomb that Kurama was charging up, that shit could have wiped out like half the Leaf Village. Maybe 3/4 of the Leaf Village. I'm just being honest. And Minato just casually just knocks it back at him.
At the very least, I'm saying Minato should be able to one-shot all of those guys, the signing level people in Pain, with his Rasengan, because he got stronger after this, as he had 10 more years to train and fight. And if you don't believe the retcon I mentioned earlier, then he still hasn't perfected this Rasengan. There's also some controversy surrounding if Kurama's at full power inside the seal. I think that this is kind of stupid, especially since that it revolves around Naruto's performance against the Nine Tails when he's in Sage mode. But not only did Naruto not do good against the Nine Tails before Kushina's interference, this is literally where the Nine Tails is sealed away at. All of its power is put to this spot. These people are entering the seal, not entering somewhere where Kurama also exists. There was also some talk about the Eight Tails catching the Nine Tails Biju Bomb within this realm, but I just want to say that this also doesn't have to be a full power Biju Bomb that he captured, and nothing implies that it is. It isn't large or anything like that. It's not even as large as the one that skinny Kurama makes later on. Minato also had to win this clash with the Nine Tails, because if he didn't, Kurama would have just kept coming and eventually got out, since he already had Nine Tails of version 2 out of Kushina and had taken over her body.
So he did win the clash. That shit makes no sense. Okay, he just shifted the tables again. So all you need is a giant Rasengan to clash with a incomplete Biju Bomb. Damn. Okay, so that's what Kishimoto was trying to say.
So that's it for the controversy. At the absolute lowest, I see the feat going. And if you don't want to take Pain's example, because the tailed beast bomb, even though it wasn't complete and from a weaker Nine Tails, actually exploded, the Orochimaru example should still suffice, and Minato should be able to one-shot Sani.
And this Kurama is stronger, cause it's the full Nine Tails. The one inside Naruto was only half. That's tough. All right, man. So that's the end of the video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to this channel. I'm trying to get this channel to like maybe like 150 subscribers within the next month or so. I'm gonna try to upload when I can. Just let me know what type of content you want to see. I really want to do some like a mix of anime, basketball type ish, because that's where my real interests lie. But we gonna see, man. But anyway, I already made this video too long. Have a good day.